In the early hours of July 4th, torrential rainfall pummeled central Texas. Over 10 inches fell across Kerr County in less than 4 hours, causing the Guadalupe River to rise by 26 feet, its most dramatic surge in decades. Among the worst-hit areas was Camp Mystic, a Christian summer camp for girls aged 10 to 17, located along the riverbank in Hunt, Texas. By 5 a.m., floodwaters had breached the campgrounds. Cabins splintered, footbridges collapsed, and hundreds of campers and staff scrambled for higher ground. Some clung to tree limbs. Others huddled on rooftops, awaiting rescue. Emergency responders began extracting survivors by air and boat. By midday, 24 deaths had been confirmed, many of them counselors and maintenance staff. 2 visiting parents were also killed. At least 21 campers remain unaccounted for. The state declared a regional disaster. Families gathered at makeshift shelters, displaying photos of their missing daughters. Drones were deployed to scan debris fields along the riverbanks, as floodwaters carried personal belongings as far as 15 miles downstream. The search operation was swift, but conditions were extreme. Helicopters from the Texas Department of Public Safety airlifted over 160 survivors, many soaked, barefoot, and in shock. Local ranchers brought in horses and ATVs to assist in navigating debris-covered terrain. Yet muddy currents and fallen trees blocked access to large swaths of the camp. Some bunkhouses were still unreachable 12 hours later. Families watched silently from a bluff as search dogs combed the area. Officials reported that over 300 personnel were deployed, including FEMA, Coast Guard divers, and National Guard teams. Parents described receiving messages from their daughters moments before signals went dark. Many of the girls left behind were among the younger campers. With daylight waning and water levels still high, the urgency mounted. "We are doing everything humanly possible," said one rescue leader. But nature is not cooperating. Local and national response was immediate. Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 15 counties and released emergency funds. President Biden called the situation heart-wrenching and authorized federal support. Churches, families, and civic groups across Central Texas opened their doors to displaced campers and staff. A nearby high school transformed into a treehouse shelter. Volunteers brought sleeping bags, dry clothes, and warm food. A mobile command center was erected in the school parking lot. Within hours, parents began holding vigils. Hymns and silent prayers replaced what should have been 4th of July festivities. On social media, the hashtag Camp Mystic flooded timelines. Former campers shared personal photos and memories, urging donations and supplies. National youth organizations pledged funds to rebuild the site and provide grief support. The outpouring of solidarity showed a fractured community pulling itself together 1 hour at a time. As the rescue continued, questions about preparedness began surfacing. While flash flood warnings had technically been issued, many residents say they received them too late, or not at all. Some phones never buzzed. There were no camp sirens. One camper's journal, later recovered, described a loud wind and fast water, no time to think. The National Weather Service admitted that river levels rose faster than models predicted. But experts say that's no excuse for what they're calling a systemic alert failure. Summer camps across the Hill Country now face calls for mandatory evacuation drills and updated early warning infrastructure. Lawmakers pledged to review Texas's rural alert systems. One parent put it plainly: nature is unpredictable, but silence shouldn't be. Outside the Camp Mystic gates, families have set up a growing memorial. Soaked teddy bears, faded camp photos, and candles flickering beneath tarps. Some write messages on signs: "Come home safe, you're not alone." Church bells tolled Friday night as the town of Kerrville grieved together. Camp leadership said the site will reopen only after a full safety review. Families have begun organizing to demand better warning systems across all summer facilities. Meanwhile, survivors share stories of bravery. A counselor who tied herself to a tree to rescue her bunk, or a 12-year-old who calmed her cabin with a prayer. As the waters recede, a hard truth remains: no system is perfect. But in these moments of tragedy, the strength of a community can outlast the storm.